We need to get Wilson in here.
Isn't he sitting next to you?
Bill Wilson. We need to get Wilson in here.
Isn't he sitting next to you?
Bill Wilson.
Okay. Everyone, as you know, Seth here. Just wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to start making... You looking at me like that. I can't do this. I hate you so much. Get out. I can't do it. I don't know why. I can't.
Okay.
I'll stay, Seth. I'll help.
I don't think you will. I don't think you're going to be much help.
No.
And welcome to Access Sports Weekly here on AccessWDUN.com, on YouTube and Twitter. As we welcome you into our studios live once again this week. Bo Wilson right beside Jeff Hart and Seth Chapman in as our producer as always. What's up, fellas?
I guess we're a glutton for punishment. Is that what it is? We did this once, so we thought we'd do it again. I don't know why.
Well, we're doing it again.
Because it's fun, Jeff.
It's fun to do live, Jeff.
Well, it is. I'm just like, I'm surprised that we're getting a second chance. We didn't get booted off the internet, TV, whatever you want to call it.
We do get a second chance. And by the way, before we get deep into basketball and we get deep into region tournaments,
wrestling,
what'd you think about the Super Bowl?
Not this again.
I'm not
having podcast flashbacks.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
We really didn't get to the discussion that we wanted to have,
which was
in an ill-fated podcast.
Yes, it was an ill-fated podcast. It never was published.
That's correct. Is Tom the
we
ultimate
didn't publish that gold?
No, we didn't. No.
Was your question? Fight. Your question was: is Tom Brady the greatest of all time?
Yes.
And
I'm not saying yes that he was.
That was the question.
That was the question.
I've never been a big Tom Brady fan. Didn't like the Patriots, but he's won more Super Bowls by himself than any other franchise, and he's done it now with two different franchises. I think you have to put him at the top of the list.
Forever in the history of the NFL,
well, in the first,
you're putting Tom Brady at the top of the list. In the history of all quarterbacks that have ever played the game, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I hated Joe Montana. First of all, he's from Notre Dame, so that.
How could you hate Joe Montana?
Because he's from Notre Dame.
How can you hate Joe Montana?
From Notre Dame.
The greatest of all time.
Because he's from Notre Dame.
The greatest of all time.
Have I mentioned Notre Dame?
The greatest of all time.
Notre Dame.
The greatest of all time.
I can't vote for somebody that went to Notre Dame. Not as an Alabama fan. I cannot do that. There are laws against it. Can't do it.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you like Peyton Manning?
I didn't because he was from Tennessee.
But, okay, you said I didn't.
But I do now because he won two Super Bowls.
Supper Bowls.
Supper Bowls. What is it with you making fun of me talking all the time? Sure. Like every day.
Look, I had the gap last week with Williams. What? You know?
You know what else I've noticed?
What?
Jeff and I are matching again today.
Oh, it's precious.
That's because I was burning up and I took off my sweatshirt.
That was that phone call that you guys made this morning about 5:30. Hey, man, what you wearing?
Seth up at 5:30.
Do you have khakis on?
No.
Seth up at 5:30.
Oh, he does.
They're kind of khakis,
you
not
guys.
really.
We can't even reach him at 5:30 in the afternoon, much less 5:30 in the morning.
Hey, 5 o'clock's quitting time, son.
So did you guys go eat breakfast together or something?
Nah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I had crackers.
father son here.
mean, he is old enough.
Whoa.
That is correct. Okay, Jeff, back to your Joe Montana, but you hate Joe Montana, but you
I
didn't like Peyton, but now you do like
do like
Peyton because
Peyton.
Peyton won 2 Super Bowls.
and he called his own plays.
And he called his own plays, but you don't like Joe Montana, period, because he went to Notre Dame.
That's correct.
And Alabama's used to be biggest rival, besides Auburn,
And Tennessee.
was Tennessee.
That's
so
correct.
how do you like Peyton and not Joe Montana when Notre Dame and Alabama weren't rivals
Very
back
simple.
in the day?
I waited till Peyton retired to go, I like him.
Oh, that's the truth shall set you free.
That's it.
Okay,
That's
well,
exactly
hey,
it. I
look,
waited till he retired.
listen, I don't like Tom Brady.
Okay.
I don't know him, so I can say I don't like him on the field to play.
That's correct. Okay. Sure, we can go with
I'm
that.
pretty sure he's probably a pretty good dude, maybe.
Got a lot of friends.
Well, of course he does. And a lot of and I normally gravitate to the winner, because that's the way I am.
Well, you're a
I'm
Georgia
winner.
fan. You have to gravitate to
So-
somebody that wins.
Yeah, and you act like you're not a Georgia fan as well.
Well, I am,
I
but
can't
I'm an
help
Alabama
it. You
fan.
still claim the 12 mythical titles that
Oh, here we
Alabama
go again.
has.
12.
So 12 mythical.
There's nothing
We've got all
mythical.
the titles in the world except 12
26.
that we gave ourselves.
26.
26
26.
minus the 12 mythical
No,
ones
26.
that you have.
Oh,
That was given
no.
to
legitimate publications at the time that declared the Alabama
legitimate
national. That's correct. That's how it works.
publications.
That's
plural.
correct.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So-
I'm not a fan of the poll system. Hated
Oh,
it.
but you are when it comes to national titles for
But if
Alabama.
that's the rules
we
of
got
the
26.
if that's the rules of the game,
26
then that's
national
what counts.
titles.
If that's the rules of the game.
What did we dub those? Mythical?
Mythical.
Well, we have more mythical titles than Georgia has actual titles, if you
Jeff-
want to look at it that way.
Jeff says,
And as a Georgia
here's-
fan, I
here's
mean, I
what
just having
Jeff
to say it.
says. Jeff says that he doesn't agree in the poll, or doesn't like the polls, and doesn't like the poll national championships. Yet you claim 26 national championships for Georgia. I mean, for Alabama. So
Wishful thinking there.
So
huh?
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. I think
Anyway, let's move on.
look, it's right there.
It's right there
right
on Wikipedia.
video. I stand by my,
Go
I
check it on Wikipedia.
Stand by my
12 mythical
I think we've all
championships.
established, though, that Wikipedia is not an
No,
academic source.
no.
Okay?
Oh, it
No.
is. You
Is
can
it?
find anything and everything on there. Everything you
I mean,
read on
you
the
can
internet
put
is
in
true.
anything you want in there too.
That is
Yeah.
correct. Like Alabama's put 26 national championships.
Oh,
in.
Man,
wow.
we walked into that one.
All right, let's move on. High school sports. What we're here to talk about today as
I feel like
10
I should
minutes of
walk
show
out right
later,
now.
let's
I
move
do.
on to high
Mic
school
drop.
sports.
I feel like I should walk out.
You should.
I should,
Okay.
but I get paid to do this.
When we
so
get finished with the show, you can walk out
to
your own music.
We'll just play Rama Jamma.
You probably just let it go from Frozen. That's probably what you need to play.
Frozen.
All right. So basketball is coming to an end, regular season wise.
That's 2 insults in like 30 seconds.
It's truth. Truth is not an insult.
I don't even know a song on Frozen.
Let it go. Let it go.
We don't need a concert here, Bo.
If you can't let it go, Jeff, just
Can't
shake
you
it
cut
off.
the mic?
Yes, he can cut the mic, but he don't know how. All right, so let's talk basketball. High school basketball. Regular seasons are coming to the end. Lots are over. Region 7 3A
You
done.
know, there's nothing mythical about a title in basketball.
That is correct, because
You
there's a
earn it.
tournament.
You earn it.
That's right. That's right. Nothing mythical about those. I'm just happy you mentioned you are now coming to my side about the mythical titles.
No, I never
So,
know. I just said
we
there's
now
nothing
have
mythical.
that on video that Jeff recognizes the mythical titles of Alabama.
That's fake news. Fake news.
Huge
fake news.
news. All right, so Lumpkin County girls winning the regular season championship, and you were there.
I was there. I'm gonna tell you that is a solid team,
Yes.
top to bottom. Now they only have 8, I believe, on the roster. You know, and their 5 play most of the game, but they make good use of the 3 other girls on the bench, and you know they can play inside, they can play outside. What I was impressed with was how well they rebounded the ball. You know, they shoot from the outside a lot, but they find ways to get rebounds, and they play good defense. They can shoot the ball. They were really having kind of an off night against White County early on. I think they were down 15-5 early. They had a couple of big runs together and got the lead. That's a team I think that you're really not going to want to play, no matter who you are in the state, in the playoffs.
Well, we had a chance to get with Coach Dowse this week as the Gaining the Edge feature, which will be posted later today on the website. And we talked to Seth, actually got a great segment with him, Seth. And very, very good interviews.
Yeah, they were all really, really a whole lot of fun to talk to, especially Isabel, and then we all had a great time just talking about them, some of their pregame rituals. It was a really, really fun set of interviews.
But I think we have an interview from Dowse after the game, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Jeff, you talked to Dowse and Coach Dowse. He was a little emotional after the game.
He was. We were waiting outside, and he was like, "Are we going to do this right now?" I'm a little emotional after all. We were like, "Okay, what's going on?" 33 years as a player and a coach for David Dowse, and this is his first time he's ever won a regular season or a tournament region title. I mean, that probably would make anyone emotional. And, they've been right there the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. We thought they had a team a couple of years ago with the grade 8, as they call them. Injuries got them at the worst time of the season toward the end of the year, and they got upset. But they've been building to this. And this is a solid team. And we've gotten to watch Isabel Davenport grow up and some of the other players that are seniors on that team. So it was a really nice story. We need to get Wilson in here.
We're going to come back to the feed, guys, as I figure out what is wrong with my video.
A little technical difficulty on the video there with Coach Dowse, but maybe we can get back to that later in the show with Coach Dowse. But
we talked about just the team kind of, like I mentioned, kind of building to this, and how special it was for him to be a part of the group, and the seniors there, like Isabel Davenport, have been there for 4 years. Is a nice story. It's a great game with White County, and I'll tell you, there's another team, White County. I don't think you're going to want to deal with them in the playoffs. One of those teams is going to be the number 2 seed. That's going to be a really solid top 2 coming out of Region 7-3A right there.
Well, because we're still on Lumpkin County and in that region, let's just move ahead with the Gaining the Edge package that you put together. This is just a brief video feature to the full video feature, which is coming up later today on Access.
We pay you a lot to not have these mistakes.
I know. Here goes nothing, guys.
It's the love of the live show.
This is Gaining the Edge, powered by Conditioned Air Systems.
She's younger, which is no exception. She's come into this program and made her impact already. Works hard on and off the court. Putting in extra time after practice on weekends. But, yeah, we love her.
Well, I was really excited to play in this culture, at the start. And now that we're here, I feel like it's more of a responsibility that I have to my team and to Coach Dowse to help my team get to the championship and hang a banner. So it's really exciting, but it feels more like a
duty than like something you get to do.
Yeah.
I think what Avery can learn from Isabel and is learning is how to handle that pressure, and how to include her teammates and continue to contribute like Isabel does in many, many ways. And it's not just scoring, but also understand that you can't do it alone, that you have to share.
Home games, we get to go out to eat, and no matter where we eat, we always go and get a strawberry banana smoothie from McDonald's. So that's kind of been our thing for the past couple games, I guess. So that's where we bond over smoothies.
Well, the first time that happened, we were driving, and Isabel was like, "I really want a smoothie," and I was like, "A smoothie? I've never had one of those before." And she was like, "They're so good." So I got one, and And we tried it, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever tasted in my entire life. So now I'm like completely obsessed with them, and I owe it all to Isabel.
Great feature by Seth, and the full feature will be up on the website later on this afternoon. And just a shout out to Coach Dowse and what he's done up at Lumpkin County. I guess you could call this the Greater 8.
Wow. Okay, now
because they still have 8 players.
See, now we're going to get some calls. Like, wait a second. We kind of built this thing a couple of years ago. No, I think that any of the last 3 years, I think Lumpkin County has been a contender for the region title. There's so many things that have to happen. That team, the Grade 8 that we talked about from a couple of years ago, that was a really, really good team. But injuries were just biting them at the end of the year, and it kind of caught up with them at the wrong time. But so this team has been able to pretty much go through unscathed. And I mean, no matter the sport, avoiding injuries, and that's just part of sports. That if you're lucky enough to avoid them and you have a good team, you're going to have a good season, and that's what that's what's going on with the Lady Indians. They're going to be a fun team to watch in the playoffs.
All right, let's stick with girls basketball here with Coach Gene Durden and the Buford Wolves.
That's it. That's all we got to say. We don't need any intro,
and we're good. And that's we say that every time we talk about Buford, but Buford rolling through 20-0 right now, 9-0 in the region. Getting a win over Shiloh last night. They are just beating their region opponents. Habersham Central, though, gave them a good game in the region.
Beating them like a rented mule?
Yeah, I guess you, sure. Whatever you want to use. But region play is over for them as well. They'll do the region seedings coming up this weekend, I believe, is what Coach Wolf
I think
Wolf
so. Something like that, yeah.
Okay. But Coach Durden, Seth caught up with him after the game last night.
Can you talk to me about what it takes to keep that status?
I just think that we always try to talk to our kids about every season's different, every team's different. And so, what we did last year just don't count. It's got to be what we're doing this year. So we really stay on them about that, about erasing that, and that everybody's out to beat us every year. And so that's one of the ways we try to basically just by starting over.
Talk to me about some of the strengths of this team right now. Strengths and you guys' goals for so far.
Versatility. We can do a lot of things. We got shooters. We got defenders. We got, we have a lot of kids that play their role really well. And, it's been a crazy year, but this team has really went through a lot of adverse conditions and really came out and doing well right now.
Yeah. Biggest takeaway from this game.
Yeah, we got to play a lot of kids, save some legs. We got another makeup game that we're going to get tomorrow night. So really our numbers has helped us really big. And like I said, we're able to save some legs and be ready to play them again tomorrow night.
Jeff, that's a Buford team that went a month.
35 days.
Without playing.
And yet they now got 20 games in. I mean, they play 20 games like in a month. That's, 4 a week?
And they play again tonight versus Peachtree Ridge.
They've earned the hot tub.
So Coach Durden still looking for games before region tournament starts.
Still looking for games.
Yeah, their region tournament actually starts next week. Next weekend, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
Is the start time for them.
Right.
But yeah, Coach Durden, Lady Wolves on the rise again. Ava Grace Watson, folks may know her around here, or they may not know her around here, but they do know her father.
Chesley, I believe.
Yes.
He could play a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, we've kind of had an inside peek on what we thought that we might see this year from her at Buford, and so far she is living up to. I don't like the word hype, but
billing.
Ability, expectations. I mean, I think a lot of people thought she was going to be really good, and just imagine how much better she's going to get. Stay in that Buford system with Gene Durden and what he can teach and what he has taught. Look at all the girls from Buford that are out there playing. Tori Osmond's up at Michigan State. I believe she's turned into one of their better players up there, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching her 4 years at Buford. Knock on wood, she stays healthy.
Yes, knock on wood, she stays healthy, and I would like to see her minutes this year because, Buford has, they put away games early, and how Coach Durden does. Right. He likes to play a lot of players.
He does.
And
well, that's one of the reasons they've been able to keep this train rolling for so many years.
Just in case you didn't know, that they saw you do that.
I
What?
realize that.
What, this?
He goes, cut it. I have to cough.
I have to cough. Well, I didn't know what else. I don't have a cough button. I didn't know what else.
I just rewatched it on the screen here.
So next time, do you want me to say,
Got
Seth,
it.
cut my mic? I have to cough.
If you want, sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Sure.
subtle
You could
enough.
just
I'll
do
dive
this.
under the table
I just love
next
that
time.
There's no way to subtly do that.
I'll just dive under the table. Like, where'd Hart go
I
real fast?
honestly, I think I, along with all the viewers, would love to see that.
You would.
I'm sure.
All right, let's shift over to boys basketball and let's
First of all,
continue.
In 8-6A,
Yes.
the girls, can we just call it?
Yeah, you can call it.
Just call it.
Just call it. Yeah.
Sorry, Coach. I know you got to play them, and you're going to be very mad, but we're going to go ahead and just you've already won the region title.
Well, you can pretty much call it for Shiloh. They have won the boys'
I'm going to
side.
tell you, look, I think that boys tournament's going to be really good, and really, Shiloh seems to be a trouble matchup for Buford, but I expect Coach Martin, they're going to figure that out. And
Shiloh is
don't
the top
sleep on,
scoring.
look, don't sleep on Buford.
Shiloh is the top scoring team in the region. They are also the best defensive team in the region. They are 10-1 overall. Lanier's sitting at 8-2. Buford plays Lanier on Friday, so that's a big game for Buford because they are 5-4. Winder Barrow, they are 6-4. Winder plays Shiloh on Friday, so the region standings could change
A little bit.
a little bit.
Well, I would not be surprised to see Buford be able to get into the region finals and, grab a home playoff game.
Mhm.
I wouldn't surprise me if they somehow found a way to win the region. Shiloh looks the real deal.
They do.
And Buford's really going to have to play really, really well. But, I mean, he's gotten them to the championship game. He's won it. He knows what to do in the playoffs. I think they're going to figure out whatever it is that the matchup issue is with Shiloh and figure that out. And I expect a really good boys tournament on 8-6A.
I do too. That will be an interesting tournament as well. So 8 4A girls. Now you look at the standings here, and what happened last night. East Hall has now shifted into the number 2 spot, sitting at 6-4. Now they've only played 12 games. They've got 2 games or 10 games. They've got 2 games remaining. They play at Jefferson on Thursday. That's a 6 p.m. start. Then they host Flowery Branch on Friday. Another 6 p.m. start time game on that. So here's the way it looks. Jefferson at the top of the region standings. East Hall at second right now in percentage points at 6-4. Cedar Shoals, North Oconee, they are done with their region games. 7-5 for both of them. Flowery Branch sitting at 6-5.
Right.
So Flowery Branch could help themselves if they could get up into a tie, 3-way tie for the 3rd spot. East Hall can seal the deal at the number 2 spot if they can win 2 big games. Monumental task against Jefferson, and then a big game against Flowery Branch. So
look, I think we all kind of expected Jefferson to be at the top. I think we also expected Flowery Branch to be right up there. They've had an up and down season. They battled, Ashley Locke. I think, she missed. I think we documented that like 20 days for contact tracing, and then she comes back. She has a monster triple-double game, and then in the middle of the game the other night against, I think it was North Oconee, sprained her ankle.
Right.
They ended up losing that game. And that was a huge game. That would have put them in second place. East Hall in second, I'm kind of surprised, although we like that East Hall team. Boy, we've talked about if they get hot, they're hard to beat.
Well,
Jefferson's a tough matchup for them, but they're playing really well right now, East Hall is.
they are playing really well, and the East Hall teams, their defense has kept them in games. They are the best defensive team in the region.
But I think Jefferson was able to find a way to put 77 on them the last time they played. They're going to have to improve that. If they can get Jefferson into the 50 range.
Here's the improvement, though. Here's where they need to improve. Scoring. They are the lowest scoring team in the region. So if they can find some more offense in these big-time games.
But isn't it interesting that when we look at that East Hall team, they may be the lowest scoring team, but they also appear to be
and that's just in region games,
right,
by the way.
They also
overall.
are a team that I think of all the teams in the region, they have the most explosive ability with their offense and how they play and with the three-point shooting. Because when they're on, they're hard to defend. They got 2, 3, 4 girls that can all shoot it. They're going to play pretty good defense typically. Jefferson was a tough matchup for them, and they didn't play very well. So they get another crack at them. But I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a fun girls tournament right there. And Fiery Branch is the only one to beat Jefferson. And if Ashley Locke is healthy and the guard play is improved like it has with Fiery Branch, I don't think you can count them out. They're certainly, I would expect them to make the playoffs, make the top 4, and I think they have a shot to win this thing.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's going to be an interesting tournament when it starts coming up next week, I believe, is when it will go. So, Region 7 3A, boys. Coach Robbie Bailey in his first year as
Coach of the Year.
Coach of White County.
Coach of the Year.
He has them as the number 1 seed in the region tournament.
I think he's going to come after me now.
Which is also an automatic berth to the state tournament.
It is.
So the Warriors dropping down this year to Class 3A into 7-3A.
Right.
And brand new coach. Not a brand new coach to the program, but as a head coach, a new coach with Coach Bailey. And he's taking him to the state tournament.
It's years like this where I wish I could figure out a way to, put money down on unexpected teams and figure out who it is that's going to make the run that we don't expect. Because you could have, you could have bought half of White County if you'd put money on the White County boys to win the region, because the odds would have been, huge. I don't think people were expecting that. Huge. I don't think people were expecting that, and they have really put a solid year together. They've got a good core of three kids that are playing well together. They're really buying into the coaching staff and what they've tried to do, and playing really well as a team. And basketball is a team sport.
Caught up with Coach Bailey after the game on Friday, a win over Lumpkin County to officially seal the deal. They had already sealed the number 1 seed by that point, but to officially seal the deal on the number 1 seed in the region tournament.
This is huge. Our goal is to win the region championship, and I told them, I said, we want to be playing Saturday and try to stay away from the quarterfinals and all that. So it's huge, but they know that they got work. We've got more work to do. Just because you're the number 1 seed don't mean anything. We've got to prepare next week and get ready for a game on Saturday, and then turn right back around and get ready for a game on Tuesday. But they played really hard this year, and some of these, especially seniors, I'm proud for them. They've been through a lot, and the opportunity to be able to qualify for the state tournament is huge.
Coach Bailey, White County, talking about his boys' team as they head in with that first-round bye. They will get the winner of the North Hall-Lumpkin County game, which is scheduled on Thursday. That game played at North Hall. North Hall, as a matter of fact, will host a doubleheader in the first round of the region tournament, as the girls will play Dawson County at 6 p.m. on Thursday. So doubleheader over at North Hall in the first round of the region tournament, and that's who White County gets as far as the winner goes. Dawson County will play Gilmer County, or Gilmer, let's put it that way, in the first round.
They're too good they're too good for 2 names. Is that what it is?
Yes, and they've actually moved that Dawson County Gilmer boys game to a 7:30 start, so that whoever is at North Hall can maybe make it by halftime to the boys game over in Dawsonville, because the girls will throw in at 6 p.m.
We could solve this. They just go back to the old format.
Yeah, in these region tournaments, we were going to talk about this on the podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to it.
The ill-fated podcast.
But the Region 6-7A.
Seth is shaking his head.
Which is Gainesville.
It's all your fault, Seth.
We'll
is
get
all
a
over
camera
the
on me
place.
eventually.
So this tournament, Region 7-3A, is a tournament that is everywhere, basically, or in 2 different locations.
You got to check not just daily, but hourly. Perhaps.
Yeah, there's 2 different locations of this tournament. The boys will play at Gilmer, the semis and the finals, and the girls will play at Lumpkin County in the semis.
Same day, same time.
Same day, same times, which is the craziest thing ever.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
But that's what they wanted to do, so that's what they've got. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes, and
I think that's a great plan when you're trying to get press coverage.
Sure.
Great plan.
I really think that the administrators could have found a better plan.
Way better.
I know everybody's afraid of COVID.
Throwing them all under the bus.
But, we've played 2 games at a location every game this season.
It's about
basically.
promoting the kids and the programs And I understand all the things that are going on, but most of the other regions are finding a way to be centralized locations so that
Branch is hosting.
Right, so that fans can go watch
Buford's hosting.
their teams, their kids, their relatives. But if you got two teams that are in the finals from the same school in 7-3A, you're going to have to make a choice.
Yep.
And I just think that is just just something wrong with that.
So, Region 6-7A, Gainesville, the boys are the number 2 seed, so they do not play until Tuesday. They will host in that round. The girls, they're playing the play-in game on Friday against Lambert again, who they pulled out last night, that game over Lambert. Lauren Teasley with 2 free throws to win it.
Well, boy, they looked dead in the water at half.
Yeah.
They were down 11, 13, 12, something like that, and I thought that was over. I was like, okay, Gainesville's kind of packed it in for the season, but I see the final score come through. I'm like, wow, what a comeback.
Yeah, it was.
And you were there to see it, Bo.
I was there to see it and call it. What a comeback that was down the stretch they come. So, Gainesville boys, they had a tough time with Lambert, of which I thought they might, but the good thing for them, they were able to hold on to the win. And a lot of coaches, when you talk to them going into the region tournaments, you want to play. And I'm sure Coach Graham wants to play, but he's going to have a week off before he plays again.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to like that.
Yeah.
Coaches have told me over the last 2 or 3 years when they stretched out the first, between region tournaments in the first round and the second round, where they're used to playing a couple of days a week, so you have your practice routines, your game day routines, and now you're going 7 days.
Yep.
You can get rusty. Basketball teams typically, if we watch this over the years, a team that has 7 days off, they just don't play very well that first game back.
They do not.
And when you're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, that's just that's not something you really want. I think teams would much rather move these a little closer to the end of the season and keep the routines in place.
Okay, so here we go with the part of the show where we named this week's
Will Hart Team of the Week.
Well, the voice is getting a little weak.
It is.
Yeah.
Might be time.
How
I mean,
dare you.
he's been doing that for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It could be, the end of the run for him. We may have to.
Hall's cough drops.
Hey, it's a cheap fix. You're right.
That's
Instead
right.
of having to hire somebody new,
just
take some
get a bag.
Halls.
Wouldn't that be a great promo? Hall's cough drops. Keep your distant God voice in check.
Yeah. So let's name this week's Team of the Week, of which we talked about before we went on the show. And this week's Team of the Week is Lumpkin County Girls.
I thought he was waiting for
I
one of
figured
us.
you would
I was
jump
like,
in.
I was going to say it.
I figured
was
somebody
going
would
to
jump
get to
in.
somebody, but
whatever.
who's going to throw it?
I was ready to jump, but I could see you were. I wasn't sure.
I paused. I thought you might jump.
Next time, just point to me. That'll be a lot easier. I
Okay.
need help. All the help I can get. I have enough time when we pre-record these things. We're going live now.
Yeah,
and
we're going live.
And
Yep.
you're expecting me to catch all
Yep.
this.
So Lumpkin County, congratulations. You are this
That
week's
also-
Will Hart Team of the Week.
And that's the only thing you get from us is a mention, because this is an unsponsored segment.
But we're working on it.
We're working on it.
Like the other thing was a bad plan. You expecting me to catch all this? That's a bad
Whenever
plan.
you say bad plan, I think of the commercial on
DUN.
on DUN. Waiting in the snow with no shoes on is a bad plan.
Fighting a two-front war is a bad plan.
Like brushing your teeth with a steel toothbrush is
Being
a bad
in the-
plan.
being in the
Expecting Jeff Hart
front,
to catch subtle cues is a
yeah.
bad plan.
being on the French defensive line.
Asking a
bad
coach
plan.
how he's doing after a loss is a bad plan.
Oh.
You went there. All right. Okay.
Oh wow!
All right.
That was a subtle mention.
Yeah.
You
Subtle?
know, yeah.
That wasn't
like,
subtle at
like
all.
stepping in, like knocking
I
down a
can
hornet's
look. I can
nest
see
is
the
a bad
bullet.
plan.
I can see the bullet hole right there.
Go to My Plan Rocks. What is it? MyPlanRocks.com
That's
for your
it,
insurance need. Yeah.
Hey, we just gave a free. Maybe we can get them to promo.
We
now.
gave a
we have
free-
a free mention.
Well, it's kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did we really?
I
'Cause
don't
he
know.
is an advertiser on the station.
It may be obligated.
But the cool thing is that we just made a whole new commercial for him.
Yes, we did.
So there you go.
I needed royalties.
MyPlanRocks.com.
Yeah, I needed some royalties.
Some royalties.
Yeah, we just made
Yeah.
some. We're
Well,
just gonna
you're from
play.
Alabama, so that does not happen. And that's a wrap for the show today, folks. You can check us out.
We almost
on
made
Twitter
it through a show without a Bama crap. Almost.
At WD Win
Almost.
Sports. On Twitter, keyword search on Instagram and Facebook. Access WD Win Sports. Jeff's on Twitter at HeartJJ22. I'm at the Bo Wilson. Seth is on Instagram. Just search Seth something cinemas Chapman.
It'll be up somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll get it out there.
Okay, we'll get it out there. So thanks for joining the show today. And for Jeff, Seth, I'm Bo. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone.